Let's talk about pattern papers. There are some people that can use pattern papers naturally really well, and I'm always in awe of those people. Um, I'm always studying and maybe sometimes scrap lifting them, but I don't use them well naturally, and I believe there's a lot of people that are just like me that don't use them very well. And so I've come up with 6 design principles in using pattern papers for us who aren't as naturally talented to follow along. And I have my written tutorial here that we will follow along with, and I'm going to toggle back and forth to some larger images because the images in this tutorial are not very easy to see. First, mix a pattern with a solid paper. Of course, coordinating colors should be used, so you can pull a color from the paper using your eyedropper tool and add a texture to it. You can use maybe a complementary color, use the exact opposite on the color wheel, or use a monochromatic color scheme. So let's go to the larger image. You can see here I have 2 pattern papers, the background paper and the matte, and they're competing with each other and they look really busy. So when I take and I put a more solid color pattern with just some brush strokes on it for the background, it looks a lot more pleasing to the eye. Mix a big or bright pattern with a smaller or more subtle pattern. 2 big patterns or 2 bright patterns compete against each other. For example, use one big paper with big flowers with a paper with subtle flowers. Let's go to the graphic now. You can see here a little bit better. I have a kind of a flowery paper with really big flowers on the background, and then I have a striped paper with really big stripes, and these 2 are really competing against each other, and this photo just gets lost. I've taken the striped paper and I've replaced it with a pinstriped paper, and you can see that complements the photo, and the eye goes to the photo first now. Previously it was going to this big striped paper first. Use big and bright patterns in small amounts on layouts. Let's just go straight over to the example here. On this example, the peach colored paper is a really bright paper, and I have used, even though I have a solid color background with a pinstriped paper, this paper is so bright that the eye just goes straight to it. I simply made that paper a lot smaller, and you can see now that it actually helps to bring the eye to the photo by the placement of it, and because of it, we've made it much smaller. So put those bright papers in smaller amounts on your layout to help your eye go to the photo. It goes the same for big stripes or big pattern papers. Use them in small amounts. Just simply use smaller patterns. In this example, these are big stripes on this paper, and my eye wants to go straight to it. Of course, they're bright stripes too, and my eye goes straight to them rather than the photo. And I changed it for a smaller pinstriped paper. And if you can see, it's got just some small pinstripes in it, and the eye goes straight to the photo here rather than the paper. Number 5, use a light pattern with a dark one, remembering contrast. Let's go to that image. These are kind of ugly, but you can still it still helps to get the point across. I just grabbed some papers and started throwing them on there for examples. But anyway, here we have 2 light colored papers, the light colored stripe and the matte that's also light colored. and there's no contrast. Over here, this is the exact same paper as this, only I just made it darker using the sliders. And you can see we have a light colored photo, a dark colored matte, and then a light colored background. And so it alternates light, dark, light. And that, even though this isn't the best example because the papers are kind of ugly, it does kind of give you an idea how this photo pops a little bit more because we have used contrast. When using multiple patterns, use coordinating colors. Odd coordinations bring your eye away from the photo. Although in this example the dark contrast helps the bad example, designers are great at putting coordinating papers into their kits, and the papers do not need to be monochromatic, just good color schemes. And so that's one good advantage of buying kits, is that they do coordinate well together. But you can see here the colors in this ugly paper do not go very well with the striped paper in the background. It does help this photo pop because this is going light, dark, light, but it just is not pleasing to the eye. And so then I took the same paper and I used the sliders and I changed it to some blues that match together, and then this is more pleasing. So just make sure you use coordinating papers and colors in your pattern papers. And if you want to use this thread to discuss some more ideas and show more examples on using pattern papers so that we all can learn, I invite you to do so, and I look forward to seeing what you have to say.